We'll make the official sound.
That's not as nice as you usually do.
Well, before Dr. Norma comes back, we are looking forward, I know, to a lovely poem from Nadine, but we had a little bit of a soundtrack issue going in the back. Can we settle that now?
Yeah.
It's gone to sleep now? Okay. Good. Nadine is going to read a poem for us, and then I think Dr. Norma is ready to continue with this very important evening. Nadine, please come on.
Thank you. So this is in honor of Dr. Norm, and this is by way of my dad's heart. And my dad is a big sweetheart. So this poem is written by Leigh Hunt, I believe, around 1905. And the poem is Abu Ben Adam. Abu Ben Adam, may his tribe increase. Abu Ben Adam, may his tribe increase, awoke one night from a deep dream of peace, and saw within the moonlight in his room, making it rich and like a lily in bloom, an angel writing in a book of gold. Exceeding peace had made Ben Adam bold. And to the presence in the room he said, "What writest thou?" The vision raised its head, and with a look made of all sweet accord, answered, "The names of those who love the Lord." "And is mine one?" said Abu. "Nay, not so," replied the angel. Abu spoke more low, but cheerily still, and said, "I pray thee then, write me as one that loves his fellow men." The angel wrote and vanished. The next night it came again in a great wakening light, and showed the names who loved the Lord had blessed, and lo, Ben Adam's name led all the rest.
Thank you. So it feels that I've touched some people today. Before I go any further, I just wanted to say, as I'm sharing those stats about the cancer industry and our current healthcare system, I want you to know that I see that there are a number of really great people in the healthcare system. Okay, Nadine, you are one of those. I'm going to suggest that most of the healing that happens in our hospitals happens through our nurses. Okay, and the presence that you carry, I know that to be true for the patients that you touch. And we have a system that's broken. Okay, we have a sick care system, which it is. It's designed predominantly to help treat disease, to suppress symptoms, and to prolong life. And we've called it healthcare, and we've sold it to our society, and we've convinced our society that this is how you get help. And it's just not true. And so now we have a sick culture. And I'm not blaming the healthcare system on that. I'm saying our culture is a sick culture. Because we think that we don't have to take care of our body and our health. That we can just pop a pill and then we're okay. And we don't have to exercise or eat well or do any of these things. It's just not true. So I thank you for the path that you walk. And I think it really takes a strong light to be in the system and to offer loving guidance the way you do. So thank you for that. The other thing I wanted to touch on is what I got really clear in my mom's journey is that she got so connected to her innate, what I'm going to call her inner guru, her inner teacher, that she knew what was right for her and what was wrong. And about 75% of the things that I brought forward to her, she said yes to, and 25% she said no. Okay, but she got really connected to what's right. Mindset was one of the key things, getting her mind on straight. But I'll tell you, it was a very integrated process. There was a lot of things that she did. And I've seen a number of people who are in the cancering process, and they think that vitamin C injection is the thing. Okay, and I was taking care of one cancering woman. She was from Campbell River. And she had breast cancer. They had already done massive surgery about 4 or 5 years ago and removed the majority of her left breast. And it came back. And when she came in to see me, she had a welt on her arm that was the size of a baseball. And she was lit up her lymphatic system. It was just these nodules. When I put my hand on to feel her spine, I never felt such a thing. I nearly soiled my pants. She said to me, they say that 60% of my cells are cancer cells. And she looked at me and she smiled and she said, that means that 40% of me is still here. Okay? With her, our approach was different. See, for me, it's about getting connected with the spirit, the individual, the innate essence within, and finding out what their way through this is. Because their body knows. Their innate intelligence knows. And for her, it was very different than my mom. There were some things that were similar, but there were some things that were different. When I started with her, vitamin C was the thing for her. She was spending thousands of dollars on vitamin C, and that was her one thing. I'll meet other people who it's like pot or whatever, the Phoenix Tears, hemp oil. Hemp oil is the thing, and that's what they do, and they do only hemp oil. And it's like the one thing. And when I see with that, it's like more like a treatment mode, that they're trying to treat it and find the thing that's going to fix it, and it just doesn't happen. For this woman, she's putting so much vitamin C in her body. Vitamin C is, what's the word for it? It pulls the metals, chelating, right? It pulls all the toxins out. She was so clogged with toxins, her arm was ballooned up. She was pulling so much toxins out of her system, but her lymphatics wasn't capable of draining it. It was like, what's going on here? It was so obvious for me to see. And she's spending thousands of dollars going to the injection vitamin C and thinking this was the approach. Okay? When I got connected with her and so tell me, what do you really need? For her, it was connecting with a native healer. Okay? It was a big piece for her. There's a few other things that we put in place. What we did one night, we connected her with a native healer here in Nanaimo. And me, I was in meditation with her most of a weekend. And she was up in Campbell River. And she said it felt like she was having surgery done on her arm. I didn't see her for about 2 months. I didn't know what happened to her. She came back in, and the swelling of her tumors had gone down by 60%. It is so beautiful, folks. Okay? It is so beautiful. And my point in this, though, is that everybody has a unique path through this. It's about connecting to what's right for the individual. And when we're in a time of challenge, extreme challenge like this, we know people go inwards and they find out what their way through this is. And for some, it includes chemo. For some, it includes surgery. Okay, we had a spiritual teacher, Ellen Addison. She was a very enlightened woman. She heard from her guides that she had breast cancer. She went to her doctor and said, my spiritual guides tell me I have breast cancer. Her doctor thought she was a little nuts. Did the scans. Yes, you have breast cancer. She did the chemo. She heard she was supposed to do the chemo. She was suggested to do, I think it was 15 rounds. She did, I think, 8 of them. And then she heard she was done. She didn't do any more. She had no more cancer. Okay? So I'm pointing all this. And then there's other people I've also cared for as well. One woman who had breast cancer, she ended up passing away. That was her soul contract. Okay? And so for some, that's their path. Right? We were talking earlier about your sister. And who sits, over here, we were talking earlier about your sister, and who's to say? We can't tell the person what their path is. We can, however, connect to their spirit and help them tune in and help bring that forward and help them to trust again with that source. Because I'll tell you, when you're in the diagnosis of cancer, cancer's a you know what a morphogenic field is? You know what? Okay? So a morphogenic field. We all have a morphogenic field. I have a morphogenic field. It's a field of energy and information around me. Okay? Nadine has one. Heatherlyn has one. Cancer has a morphogenic field. And it's global. Okay? And when you get sucked into that, it's like a tornado of fear. Okay? Like for my mom, that looked like having best friend showing up at the front of her door in tears because they were going to lose her best friend, right? Showing up, if you can imagine, being diagnosed, and perhaps you can relate, but having people in your life showing up in tears because you're about to die, right? So for me, through the journey with Mom, I had to go back to my roots and my foundation of what I knew to be true. And I am so darn grateful I had done as much research and prep as I had to prepare me for that experience. Because I've been researching for the last 16 years now on what it takes to be healthy and well. Okay, and we've created handouts and articles, and I've written 2 books now, and workshops, and on and on and on. One of the pieces that I wrote early on in my career is something I titled The 10 Tips for Creating Outrageous Vitality. Okay? It later became a book, and it is now the foundation of what is the My Inner Guru program. And one of the key components in that is play and laughter. Okay? You know, throughout my journey, I've just seen over and over again how bang on. It was literally channeled through me, those 10 tips. I wrote it in about an hour, the 10 tips full-page document. It was a homework assignment that I had from a coach. And it's like throughout my journey, I'm just like, boom, this is right. Wow, look at this. This is amazing. This is amazing. And so for Mom, when she was in her situation, we looked at different treatment centers in the States. And we could have sent her down to the States and spent $100,000 and had an integrated cancer treatment center where there was chemo and surgery and juicing and yoga, and laughter yoga was a component of it, right? And I would show Mom, I was like, hey, what do you think of this? And she's like, no. She's like, why would I go down there? Why would I stay here on the farm where I can be with the people that I love, right? And so she took with that the importance of laughter, though. Okay, it was a key piece. And so throughout her whole journey, those 3 months, where it was like whether she was going to make it or not, she'd always have a joke in her back pocket. Okay, if you can imagine, right? Having your sister-in-law show up at the front door, you're gonna die, and then having a joke. Right? And her favorite through it was, she's got 4 grandkids who live in the same yard, just 100 yards down the way in a different house. And the 2 little guys, Cohen and Hayden, they're like incredibly adept at building stuff. How old are they now? 8 and 6? 9 and 6, something like that. And she came out one day and they're building a greenhouse. And so Mom says, well, what are you guys building? And the little guy, Hayden, says, the bigger guy says, we're building a greenhouse. And Mom says, well, what's the greenhouse for? And the little guy says, what are you going to grow in your greenhouse? So the little guy says, we're going to grow candy. And the bigger guy goes, hey, you can't grow candy in a greenhouse. Right? And so this was Mom's joke through her cancering process. It was like these little guys and, the joke of growing candy in the greenhouse. How important laughter is. Okay? I love doing it. Laughter exercise would be a great time for us to do this right now. Okay? So what we'd like to do is, who would like to be my demo? Somebody would like to come up here. Somebody would love to build their immune system. Come on up. You're perfect. that. And the way they teach us, and we have this theory that we gotta wait until it's funny. Most people think we gotta wait until it's funny. And I haven't heard anything funny today. I haven't laughed. I don't think that's true. I think we can just laugh, and it's kind of funny when we laugh. So we practice laughing. So we're gonna do a 1 minute laugh. You got it. You ready to go? All right.
Keep laughing.
All right, so we're going to ask you to partner up. So you can partner up, find a partner, and stand up and find a partner. You can face your partner. Excellent. All right, anybody need a partner? Okay. All right. Excellent. All right, 1 minute, go! All right. Is that as good for you as it was for me? Is that good? That's awesome. That's great. Thank you. We pass around and we walk around. So, your genetic expression just changed. How cool is that? Like in 1 minute, you can change your genetic expression through laughter. It's free. It's available anytime, any place. Isn't that great? Like, I mean, like, really, right? Woo! I love that.
Could I take one for someone who couldn't be here but really wants to be here? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Cool. All right, so this is the evolution of my work. As I mentioned, this has been evolving over 15 years, and it continues to prove itself to be bang on. There's the 10 tips in here. Play and laughter is one of those. Okay, this is a very comprehensive, full spectrum view on holistic health and wellness. Okay? We've added 2 more pieces to it. The first one being purpose. Okay? So, how that looks, you know, when my mom was in her situation, we had to get her really connected to her reason for living. Okay? It was like, so why do you want to live well? Because, you know, and if it was just about her making it through cancer or her healing herself, she wouldn't have had enough juice. Okay? For me even, like me, exercising, just for the sake of exercising, or just for the sake of being healthier, maybe not. Okay? Totally, right? So for Mom, it was about helping her get connected to her purpose, okay, which was her grandkids. She wanted to live because she wanted to see her grandkids grow up. She's like, no, I want to see those kids grow up. I love them to death. I want to see them grow up. Right? For me, one of my top purposes, my top values, what drives me is making a difference, contribution. Showing up here tonight, being able to share the message. Okay? That is a huge motivator for me to exercise. Okay? If it's just about my health, you gotta link it to your purpose. And if you don't know what your purpose is, you gotta find out what your purpose is. It's your why. It's why are you here? Okay, and once you establish your purpose, then you've got a motivator, right? You've got something that's going to call you forward. So that when you're looking, apple, coffee crisp. Apple, coffee crisp. I like the way the coffee crisp crunches. Tastes pretty good. Right? If it's left up to me and my own devices, what am I going to choose? But if we go apple coffee crisp, contribution, right? Energy, get to make a difference in people's lives. I've got a whole bunch of people counting on me tomorrow. They're going to show up in my office who are expecting a great adjustment. I'm going to feel more integrity with this choice. Way more inclined to this here. Okay? So through the process, what I teach people to do is to link their health behaviors to their values, to their purpose. It's essential to do. Okay? And more with that is like finding congruent ways. I'm going to continue with exercise, but finding congruent ways that are authentic to you. We speak about your unique recipe for holistic health. It's unique for everybody. This idea that somebody in another country who's a different sex than you, who's different background, who has a different lifestyle than you, should tell you what you should eat is mind-boggling. Okay? It's about helping people get connected to what's right for them. What's right for you. So for me, adventure is pretty high on my list of values. I get juice for adventure. And what I'm learning, and this has been a tough lesson, because leading into January with this program coming up, I was like, I want to go back to CrossFit. And I committed to go back to CrossFit. And I've been back to CrossFit once. Do you guys know what CrossFit is?
No.
CrossFit's high intensity interval training. So it's like pretty intense, it's like boot camp. Okay? I've been back to CrossFit once in the month of January. Okay, which is like, it's been a huge drain for me. Okay, as much as I wanted to go and I committed and put it on my Facebook page, I've been back once. Okay? And in the month of January, I ran up Mount Benson, I don't know, 3-4 times. Okay, which is like, it's pretty heavy stuff going up Mount Benson, it's a good hike. And what I'm learning through that is the importance of congruence. Right? In that you can't overlay what you think you should do, right, around exercise and nutrition. You got to find out what's right for you, what's authentic for you. I never say no if I get an invite to go up Mount Benson. If I've got a couple of buddies who want to go up Mount Benson, I'm like always in. Absolutely. Sign me up, I'm in. Right? See, the things that we value happen effortlessly. Okay? When they're aligned, it happens. When it's not aligned, we don't do it. There's a reason why you're not doing it, Norm. You don't want to go to CrossFit because it's not aligned. It's like, oh my goodness, interesting. So it's been a really big learning for me, okay, in regards to the importance of aligning our health behaviors with our values, with our purpose, with what lights us up. You with me on that? Okay, very good. So, where do we want to go from here?
Some questions?
I'd like to talk just a little bit about the Minor Guru program, if I may. I'm going to take like 5 or 10 minutes and talk about that. There's a handout here. So I got one last piece
There's
to
one
cover,
back there.
and then we'll pass that. Awesome, thanks so much. I've got like one last piece I'm going to cover, and then we're going to open it up for questions and answers. Okay, perfect. So my material has been developing and evolving over the last 15 years. Okay, from a handout to a book to now, and I realized through it all is that information is not where it's at. It's the embodiment. It's getting people to engage in the process of healthy living. So how do we do that? Well, that's what the Mind Your Guru program is all about. So we put together a 12-week program. It's online. Some of it's online. And there's different levels of engagement for people. We cover all the 12 essentials, which is the handout that you just received. And we help you identify what is authentic for you. That's a key piece of it. Different levels of engagement we found through our research that some people are just like, just give me the info. I just want the info. I'm in charge. I'm going to study the root. I want to do the process. And other people really want to do process work. They want to talk with another. They want to go deeper in the information. I really want to learn about myself and go deeper in understanding who I am in relationship to nutrition and what really nourishes me. And we take that as like a spiritual practice. And we go deep in understanding what nourishment is and what nutrition is for you. Okay? And then we have a third group of people that we realize through our research, and those people are those who we call our avatars. Okay? Our avatars are people who have a big calling, and they want to play at the top of their game. Okay? And so we use this as a vehicle, the Mind Your Guru program as a vehicle to help them express themselves fully. We also see that there's some people who are in extreme health crisis, who need as much love and attention as they can. And those are also our group who fit into the avatar category. Those people work with me one-on-one through phone conversations. There's lots of non-linear or non-local energy work as well that I do with those people. Okay, so there's a couple of options there. If you want to engage with me and go deeper in what we're offering here, there's some choice points for you. We'd love to engage with you. The program's being released here on February 13th. And I'm excited. I'm extremely nervous about it. It is like the next big chunk of my life has been building, and I'm like, birthing this baby. It was only, it was in November that I uttered the words Mind Your Guru for the first time in public situation. I was so nervous saying it, right? And it was just, this thing is so precious to me, right? And it's like, it's coming out right now. I think it's so bang on though. We have the idea that the gurus out there teach me, no, the guru's in here, man. Right? You're the guru. You're the guru. You got the wisdom in you. Right? And that's not to say no to the external information or the wisdom that you've come across from the teachers and the books and the preachers and the classes and the workshops. But what I'm suggesting is that you want to take that information and integrate it and own it for yourself. And really distill it and figure out what's right for you. And make it your own. I was guilty for many years. I used to be a workshop junkie through chiropractic college. I went through, in 4 years, I went to about 120, 130 different workshops. Week-long workshops. It was like every weekend, every other weekend, I was into a workshop, learning another process, it was just like, and I got so cluttered with information, and I hadn't taken time to really digest it for myself. Right? And that's what I'm seeing now more than ever is that we have access to so much information. It's not a matter of information shortage. You can type on Google any day you want. Get any bit of information you want. Google's got it. But what we're missing is embodied wisdom. Is you owning it. And taking all those bits and then digesting it and making it real for you. That's what this program is about. So it's really a process of self-awareness, self-actualization, through the holistic health and wellness principles. I don't know anything else like it on the planet. I really don't. I've looked around. But it's true, inside out, health and healing. So that's there if you'd like to talk to me about it afterwards. We'd love to share more information about it. I have one last piece. This here, this is our new pride and joy. And the wind worked a whole bunch on this. This is our minor guru calendar.
And Ravi.
And the calendar is very interactive. It's got the 12 essentials in here. There's room to set intentions and goals. There's room in here to track your progress. Because here's the scoop. If you're not tracking it, you're not going to know if you're making progress or not. I don't remember what I had for dinner last night. How am I going to remember if it felt right for me today? You know what I mean? Okay, so you've got to track it and pay attention and learn. How does that affect your thoughts, your energies, your sleep? So this is it's integrated. Okay? So this is here. We have these for sale if you like. They're just $20. Big asset for your health. Okay, so that's my my bit there. We'd love for you to participate however you feel right. And we've got 15 minutes for questions, which I would love to hear some questions. Yes?
I have a question that Grant would like to ask. He asked me and I couldn't answer. Because he's only familiar with traditional bone crunching chiropractic.
Right.
Can you speak about that?
Sure. Okay. So excuse me, there's lots of different styles of chiropractic. Chiropractic is a science, a philosophy, and an art. The artistry is the personal flair, the style that we deliver it. My approach is I use a very low force. It's gentle. Okay, it's more energetic. It's in the energetic and neurological realm. So I'm not looking at actually moving bones around. I'm looking at more helping the nervous system and the energy system change. So rather than me doing to a client, it's more like I'm talking to the client. And I'm talking to them through touch. And I'm talking to them and to their body. Okay? And through it, what happens is that they actually will learn tools and resources themselves that they can work with on an ongoing basis. Okay? And that's the part I love so much about my work, is it's very empowering. First, I was a client. It happened way back in second year chiropractic college. At the time, I was under some extreme stress. Prairie boy living in Toronto. Professional school. New social situations. Financial stress. And one of the hardest things was the amount of reading I was doing. Okay? I developed extreme neck strain. Constant pain. And I was going to see my structural chiropractor, which is what I needed to do, and he would adjust me, and I would feel some relief. And then 24, maybe 48 hours later, it'd come back again. And I'd get adjusted, I'd feel some relief, and then it'd come back again. Okay? And that was when I was introduced to network, which is the approach that I did. As fate would have it. And so how that looked like for me, first visit I noticed very gentle. Didn't notice a lot of changes. But by the third visit I could feel my breath expanding all the way down into my pelvis. I thought, hey, that's pretty cool. Okay. As a kid I dislocated my kneecap. They put me in a full leg cast here with the idea of atrophying the knee joint, which it did so well that I couldn't bend my knee when the cast came off. I had to do physiotherapy to regain mobility. That took 3 months. I did it twice. Tons of fun. I was 16 and 17 years old. My pelvis was way out of balance by the time I got through that. So the idea of getting breath into my pelvis was like breakthrough. By the 5th visit, I was able to get breath up into my neck. Okay? It was at that time that I realized that I could work with my breath during class and self-manage my own stresses. And that was like a TSM turning point. It was like game changer for me. Okay, so the approach that we do is in a different model or paradigm than most people know of chiropractic. Most people know moving bones, okay? I don't move bones. I work with the nervous system and the energy system. That's the central processing system of the body. And if we change that, that's going to change how the system holds itself. Okay? And the person can start to work with what I'm teaching. It's transferable. So it lives on, that people really gain from the work versus being dependent on the chiropractor. Does that make sense to you?
That's great.
Awesome. Excellent. The other thing that's neat with network is it's truly integrated. It's an integral approach, meaning we work physical, but we also will work on an emotional, a mental, and a spiritual level as well. So all of those energies work through our nervous system, and I can modulate that through the depth of my touch. Okay, it's very specific, but if I go a little bit deeper, I can access more of the emotional system, or the mental, or the spiritual energies. Okay? Doot, 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 doot. Okay? Process. Any other questions?
Well, I've not heard of the term kinesiology or the word kinesiology. Could you elaborate on that a little bit? Is that something that you understand, or does that come into your chiropractic work? I'm thinking of David R. Hoffman.
I think you're referring to like kinesiology.
Probably.
Yeah, I had studied a whole bunch of AK. I think it's a good word. It's a way of talking to the body, and we can use it to learn like what nutrition and supplements, food choices. The body is constantly talking to us, and definitely it's a great interface. It's not something I've studied a whole bunch. Okay. Thanks for your question. It's great. All right, I can keep talking. Go ahead.
Can you tell what the areas of the spine that might be in pain, what that is, or is it just, are you just feeling it, or how do you?
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
I'm saying I've got a pain in my back. If I tell you about it, you know what it was when I come to see you.
Yeah, there's a number of different indicators that I look at in my approach. And where your symptom is, you know, we're going to take that into appreciation. But then I'm also going to tune in and listen to your body. Because sometimes a headache is caused from down here. Okay, I have one little, our student intern right now, he gets headaches all the time. And he's got the most distorted pelvis. I don't know what happened, but the poor guy is all twisted up down here and he's getting headaches. Okay?
So it's not necessarily at the site.
No.
And so specifically, if somebody comes, say, with an injured shoulder or something, you're still gonna, you're not gonna treat the shoulder, you're doing the whole body all the time.
Absolutely. We're going to take that into consideration, but then I'm going to do a full scan. I'm going to tune in. Because here's the scoop. Your body might tell me that we got to work on another area that's priority. And who knows what that other priority is, right? Maybe you got a little bit of cancer going on. Then your body's like, whoa, we got to deal with this over here. And yet our mind is like thinking that this is the priority, right? I don't want to put that into the field, but you see where I'm going with this, right? So I'm constantly asking the person's system what the next layer is. And when we listen to the body, and it's like one layer, and then another layer, and then another layer, that's what allows it to be so efficient. I'm not imposing my will on the body. We're listening and really tuning in to feel what's right and what the next layer is. Yeah. Good question, though. Now, how do I tune into that? There's a lot of different indicators. Posture, muscle tension, tone, the tone of the muscles, whether they're bound up, they're relaxed. The vertebrae themselves will have a vibration to them, a tone or a pitch. Okay, so I feel energy. I can run my hand down somebody's spine and in 3 seconds have a read on what's going on for them. Ideally, the spine is in a nice fluid state. Okay, and there's a breath wave that happens and it's in a state of ease. Okay, but whenever there's stressors in our life that we haven't yet healed, when there's aspects of our past that we're still holding on to, when there's emotions that we've suppressed, when there's memories that we haven't fully integrated, it gets locked in the spine. Okay? It's energy that gets stuck. And what we'll see is that the breath will come through and then it'll go bloop, and there'll be an area that's solid. And we'll breathe over here, bloop, and we'll miss that spot. It's frozen. It's energy that's stuck. And so shit happens in life, and we're like, I can't deal with this now. I gotta put this over here. I'll deal with this later. Okay? And it's the body's innate intelligence doing the best it can in that situation. So it stores it, and it stores it, and it stores it. Okay? A great short-term strategy, except for many of us, we never give ourselves time or the opportunity to heal it. So we just go through life accumulating stressors.
So is stress the big issue? It's just stress in your body?
Stress is. It's the number one issue. Now when I say stress, I look at full spectrum stress. Physical, mental, emotional, chemical. Okay? Of all those stresses, about 15% is physical. About 80 is mental, emotional, on average for people. And about 5% is chemical. EMFs, GMOs, all that sort of stuff. Okay? But for sure the mental, emotional is the bigger one. Okay? So that happens when, grandma dies. And we're like 7 years old, and we're like, what the heck just happened? My grandma. And we can't compute. We don't have the hardwire to make sense of that all. It's just like too much information. So our body's innate intelligence does the best it can, takes that energy and says, we got to store this right here, and it holds on to it. Okay? So it's an adaptive strategy. Our body is always working towards the best for us. Okay? There's an intelligence happening. However, most of us are still carrying around Granny dying when we're 7 years old. We haven't worked through it. And it's so far in the covers, we've forgotten all about it. Right? And it becomes areas of disconnect. We're just not even aware, we're not even cognizant of it. We'll lose the actual neurology for it. The SRI work that I was speaking to you earlier, which is a form of breath work, we teach people how to self-assess through touch and through focused breath. Okay, and we'll see people where, we'll put their hands here and we'll say, breathe in here. They have no connection with bringing breath into their chest. And they just do not have the neurology or the muscle connection to bring breath into their chest. It's so locked. And most of those people would have had no clue moments before. And many spiritually aware people still have no clue of what's happening going on in their body. Okay? Even me, I don't know until I put my hands on my body and I do my self-assessment. I may know that I have pain, but I don't know where the tension is in my body. There's a difference there. Okay? And we're so orientated to pain as a society, and we think pain is the issue. Pain is just a warning signal. It's a message from your body. Okay? But actually getting your hands on your body and touching and breathing and feeling and getting to know what's happening in your system, that's the only way that you're going to really know. I had one client last week, she was so excited she came in. She's like, she was so struggling with the tension through her shoulders for months. She said, and I finally put my hands on my shoulders and I breathed into it and I asked my body, what do you need? And she heard the message. And she took action. And the pain disappeared. Do you have any questions?
Does inflammation fit anywhere? How does inflammation fit in?
Absolutely. Inflammation is a huge component. Right? And it happens through our food choices. It happens through the misalignments in our joints. When we're out of alignment, it creates inflammation. So what do I want to say about that? I'll just agree with you. Yeah, it's a big component. Absolutely. For sure.
Are you going to tell us what the problem was with her shoulder that she let go of?
No. Personal information. Excellent. All right, excellent. So we gave you a whole bunch of information there. You can go home with that. If you do want to look at the Meyer Group program, you can talk to us about that today. We'll also give you a sticker. I encourage you to put that somewhere that you can be able to see that. Okay? The name of the program is My Inner Guru. Not that it's Norm's Inner Guru, that it's your inner guru, and your inner guru, and your inner guru, and your inner guru. And I'm asking that you personalize it. Okay, a lot of our clients are starting to do that. They'll speak about their inner guru, and they turn inwards, and they're asking about their inner guru. Put the sticker somewhere where you're going to remember. Tune into your inner guru. All right, there's wisdom within. Attune to it. All right, thanks for being a great audience. Awesome. Great guy. Everybody, we've got calendars at the back, $20. They're going to be fabulous. I know that you want to look at those. And it's great that Norma's here, and I know a couple of people will probably want to get up and just have a one-to-one conversation with Norm. So for the folks who can stay after 9 o'clock, it is 9 o'clock right now. The gentleman is still here for a little while. Thanks to Heather Lynn taking video. And so we're here, and thank you ever so much for coming. Norm has opened portals and gateways and avenues of understanding that not only do we all need, but it's just very, very exciting to know what you're really are. Awesome.